Alright, welcome to episode 51 now of Box News. Sorry, I've been away for a few weeks. Been busy working on getting a real job, as Box News is not paying me. Also been playing Halo Reach excessively. It's a great game, but that's another day for that review. Today I want to talk about the Crackdown game series. Crackdown now has two titles. Crackdown, Crackdown 2, another special title with them. They are fun games. They're really fun games. I want to start off by saying that. It's basically, if you were to have a sandbox of toys, this is what Crackdown is and was. There are a lot of differences, though, between the two games. First off, obviously, the companies that made them, both are basically funded by Microsoft Game Studios, and then they have the sub-company Real Time Worlds, which made the original Crackdown, which I feel is the better company, and Roughman Games made the sequel, Crackdown 2. Like I said, there are a lot of differences in the games. Crackdown, the first Crackdown had basically different factions. You had to go against different gangs, different territories. There was missions. There was the infamous orbs to collect, which didn't change from the second one. There were orbs in the second game, but there were actually gangs and just people you fought in the original Crackdown. There were a lot of cool weapons, a lot of cool vehicles. Basically, what you are, let me give you a little brief detail. What you are is a cop. You're a super cop, basically. The orbs give you, there's agility orbs, there's, for guns, for rockets, pretty much anything you do, you upgrade your character. There's 5 or 6 levels to your character. With agility, you're able to run faster and jump higher with your gun. You become a better, more accurate shooter, and your bullets are slightly stronger. With driving, basically your car handles a lot better. It's a tighter instead of a looser car. So that in both games, that's identical. You upgrade your character by collecting orbs, by killing people certain ways. If you kill someone with a gun, you're going to get an orbs bonus for that. If you run them over, you're going to get driving orbs. So going through and you do things to earn these orbs, and that levels up your character. So I really like that. There's incentive to these open world games to play a certain way or play however you want, and you're still making good progress through it. But with the first one, there's just different factions, there's different gangs. You actually take out 21 different gang bosses, and they give you basically missions. There's the infamous announcer, as I call him, who gets mad at you. He's back in number 2, and he curses you out. So he basically just cuts you down the whole time. He gets mad at you and curses at you. He's a jackass. But it's fun, though. It's funny and it's fun. But in the first one, there's all these gangs you have to try to eliminate, and you go through these cities and basically recapture these territories, take out the gangs, and then that's how you complete it. The fun thing is you can play online with people, and you both destroy the city, do whatever, and you're a cop, so you can't get in trouble. You can get in trouble with the cops. If you shoot your own people, they'll eventually come after you, but it's not like GTA or other games where you're kind of like a bad guy. This one, you're a good guy trying to save the city, which is overrun by the corrupt bad guys. So it's kind of a role reversal. It's really neat. So I really enjoyed the first one, and it's just so much fun. I really enjoyed the second one too, but the thing that I didn't like, they added a lot of upgrades to the character. It's different companies, so they had a different perspective on the game. Zombies. The city, Pacific City, is where it takes place. It takes place again. It's a remake. It's basically the city, but it's in ruins. They had to remake the city from scratch, but it's all in ruins now. So if you played the first one and you're going back, well, not going back, but you played the first one, now you're playing the second one here, and you're going to notice a lot of familiar landmarks. You're like, oh, I remember doing missions here. I remember taking out crime lord here. I remember, saving this part. And everything looks so wonderful and bright, and I mean, yeah, there was crime and stuff, but everything looked so great in the first game, and now this is just overrun by zombies. There's an infection and a virus going through the city, and you're trying to shut down all these infestation holes, like you're trying to stop them from spreading. So there's like 15 of those. There's 15 crime areas too. There's only one gang now, and it seems more like a sandbox toy than it did with, I mean, the missions, there were no really huge missions, no cutscenes in Crackdown 1, but it just seems less structured and just, hey, go have fun and blow things up in number 2. But I mean, that was the whole premise of the game. It just, you got this badass super cop and you go blow shit up. That's pretty much what the game is about. So I guess they hit it on the dot with Crackdown 2. If you can get your hands on either one of these games, they're exclusive to the Xbox 360, by the way. If you can get your hands on either one of them, it's worth your time, because it's a fun toy to mess around with. And then if you have friends who you can get online with, because it's only co-op online, 2 to 4 players. If you can get online and play these games, you're gonna have a fun time. You're gonna have a fun time regardless of playing online with your friends. It's not an everlasting game. It's not going to be one of those games that you're like, man, remember that game 10 years ago? No, it's not going to be that game. Is it something that you want to pick up in between games? Like you're done with the big Halo game and you want to wait for Black Ops. What should I play? Pick up Crackdown. You'll have it done in 2 weeks. It's easy for achievements if you're into achievements, if you're achievement junkie like myself. So it's just a simple game. But definitely check out Crackdown first and then get Crackdown 2. You can get the first Crackdown for like $5, and the second one's already under 30, even though it just came out in July. I don't think it did well. But kids, they're rated M, both of them, so make sure you have your parents' permission to play this game, because there's violence, there's cursing. I don't believe there's any adult material. No, not to my recollection. But make sure kids get your permission. I don't want to encourage kids to play M-rated games. Violence is not good for anyone. But it's a fun game. Got a lot of cool videos coming up. The month of October I'm doing recommendation/review videos all month long. I'll be doing the best horror/thriller survival scary games. So I recommend, I'll be recommending, I believe, 10 to 13 games to you this month. There'll probably be shorter videos, just quick reviews, why I think you should play them, why they're good. Hence, Halloween is at the end of the month. That's why I'm doing this theme. So stay tuned throughout the month, of October for all my sweet recommendations. And I will also have some game reviews. I'm finishing up Halo Reach, finishing up the game Prison Break. So I got some weird reviews. I got some really good reviews coming up. And like I said, all I can do is recommend Crackdown. It's just a fun toy. It's not an epic game by any means. It's fun, but it's not, there's no replay value after you beat it. Sorry. So let me go down, give it a grade. I give this series as a whole a B-, just because the lack of replay value, the lack of story. There's not much of a story. The graphics are kind of cel-shaded, cartoony, which is kind of cool for if they're going for that feel. It's not realistic by any means, especially when your super cop can pick up a car and chuck it at someone, which is fun, I must add. So it's in the controls. If you've played a sandbox, open world, GTA, Saints Row, any of those games, controls are almost identical. Very, wide to get in, the vehicles, triggers to drive. It's a very, very familiar game. Easy to pick up, easy to play, not very difficult by any means. But pick up Crackdown, Crackdown 2. I want to thank you for watching now 51 episodes of Box News. Stay tuned for, I don't know, come up with a name for me. Give me a name for October, for my horror month or something. But I want to thank you again, and stay tuned for more episodes.